Exercise question 7 to 4. Find the ratio in which the line segment joining the points negative 3, 10 and 6, negative 8 is divided by negative 1, 6. Let's quickly draw a diagram. We have been given a line and there are 3 points, the 2 endpoints and 1 point somewhere in between. The endpoints are given as negative 3, 10 and 6, negative 8. The internal point has been given as negative 1, 6. Now we have to find out in what ratio this point divides the overall line. So that means indirectly they are asking you what is the proportion of this segment with the remaining segment. So generally we use M and N when we are using the section formula. We can do that very well here, but in that case we will get two unknowns with two equations. It is always advisable to assume that ratio as k is to 1. So we'll assume that this length is k and this is 1. If that k comes out to be fraction, which most likely will be, we'll manipulate the numerator and denominator and we'll come up with a better answer. Let's see that one. So let's assume that the required ratio be k is to 1. If you use k is to 1, then we will solve the problem in one equation. We don't have to solve simultaneous equations. We can cross-check our answer by using the y coordinates and our solution will be somewhat easy. So every time you have this kind of problem where the ratio is unknown, rather than assuming it to be m is to n, which we normally use for standard section formula, I highly recommend that to be used as k is to 1. So that means this ratio, this length is k and this is 1. We are supposed to find out k. Most likely it will be a fraction. So if k is to 1 is the proportion by which the internal point is dividing this entire line, then the point, the internal point, the coordinates will be given by this particular formula, simply because here one of the proportion is k, the other one is 1. So that's why it's as good as not being written there. Similarly, k is 1 ratio and 1 this is the same formula, m is to n, except m is replaced by k and n is replaced by 1. So now we can concentrate only on x-axis, x coordinates, only on y coordinates, or what I recommend here is solve this using x coordinates and then cross-check with y coordinates. Let's see. Here, the A point is x1, y1, which is negative 3, 10. B point is the other endpoint, which is 6, negative 8. And the intermediate point, x, y, is negative 1, 6. Now, if you substitute that here, remember, from where I'm getting this negative 1, the entire answer is supposed to be negative 1. The x coordinate of the internal point is supposed to be negative 1. Now we'll substitute that. K we do not know. In fact, that's what we are trying to find out. X2 is the x coordinate of the second point, that would be this 6. Since there is nothing, because there is only 1, and then x1 is negative 3, and then k plus 1 will be divided. We will try to cross multiply this one. So this will become k plus 1 times negative 1, that will become negative k minus 1, and this will remain as it is. So 6k minus 3, well, this minus 3 goes on the other side, and this minus k comes to this side. Both will become positive. After simplification, we get the value as 2 upon 7. So ideally speaking, the value of k is 2 by 7. We can cross-check for the y coordinates. Let's do that. We can use the same formula for y coordinate. The y coordinate of the overall internal point is 6. And k y2, so k times y2 is negative 8, times 1 times y1, which is 10. I have written the values of x1, y1, x2, y2 right here. If there is any confusion, you can always look these values here. We can cross multiply, and k plus 1 will go on the other side. It will become 6k plus 6. And just it's a question of manipulation. We'll transfer all k terms on one side and all constant terms on the other side. And if you notice that the k value, if you do y coordinate analysis, Still, it comes out to be 2 by 7. So that means our answer is correct. The required ratio, you can say that k is to 1 and k value was 2 by 7 is to 1. Or if you don't like the fraction, you can take this divided by 7 on the other side and it will become 2 is to 7. And that's your final answer.